We're live. Hello.
Right, okay. Hi, hi, hi.
I'm here in NUIG Galway with the wonderful Joan Lally. Did I get that one
You
right?
got that right, yeah.
Excellent. We're doing a social media training. I'm up here with the HR department and I'm training people from different departments across UL. And we're on a break. Excuse the sweat as well, but I actually am sick, but get over it. So we're on a break and the majority of people have left the room and Joan came up and we started talking around social media and Joan was telling me a bit of our backdrop. So give us a bit of context as to who you are and then we'll get into some of the questions.
Okay, well what I was talking to James about is I'm a psychotherapist and I would, you know, as well as my job here, I would like to use social media to talk about psychotherapy and what I do and what I offer. And specifically what we were talking about there was the whole thing around depression and how, you know, I suppose how I could use social media to talk a bit more about that. And the way that most people think that if you're depressed, it's a fixed, you are depressed and you suffer from depression and that is it and that is you and you take some tablets and you're going to be like that for the rest of your life. And that's completely 100% not true, you know, from a psychotherapy point of view as opposed to a doctor's point of view. Yeah. And, you know, so...
Do you think the people are misinformed on depression, or do you think, like, actually no, I'm going to get to that question second. Do you think social media is enhancing depression with people now? Do you think more people are becoming depressed because of social media, because of the social anxiety that comes from using platforms like social media?
Probably, yeah.
And why do you think? Do you think it's because like you're out there with everybody, or like back in the day 20 years ago, keeping up with the Joneses was Mikey who lived on your left and Mary who lived on your right? Whereas now I go to Instagram and I can see 1,000 people my age who are better off than me. Yeah. And
well, no, what it does is basically it taps into the person's own insecurity. So it depends on where the individual is at.
Okay.
And I suppose what it does then is, so if you feel kind of that you want to go on holidays or whatever and you're watching everybody else, so it just taps into your insecurities and it magnifies them. Yeah. But it doesn't mean that you don't have them in the first place.
Of course, yeah.
So
social media really just potentially has enhances the likelihood of this coming to the forefront a bit more.
Totally. But there's another thing, like it's really complex subject matter, but there's another thing as well. It's like from a therapy point of view, if you're on social media, you're living in your head, you're living in your brain, you're sitting there. So that's where you're living. This is
something I was really fascinated with. This is why I wanted to go on the live stream. So depression was one thing. You said something fascinating a minute ago, that people are becoming more detached from themselves because of social media. Yeah. What did you mean by that?
What I mean is that what people do is they're putting another barrier between themselves and another human being. So therefore, when I say you're living in your head, like lots of students do, is that basically they're only accessing one part of themselves. They're not in their bodies, so therefore they're not feeling. So there's, you think and you feel, and actually feelings are way stronger than thoughts, and people don't realise that. So you're actually operating most of the time on your feelings.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you are, and but if you're in your head all the time, you're cut off. But your feelings are much stronger. So when a person feels depressed, it's a feeling, and you keep trying to push that feeling down until you get it so stuck. That's when people collapse into depression, right? So it's basically so social media is all about thoughts and about operating the head, and so it's the detachment from our feelings is becoming stronger, and that's what's happening with people. So subsequently, there'll be more mental illness, but actually it's not. It's emotional illness because it's complete detachment from one's emotions, which are held in one's body. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's there fascinating.
Yeah. Sorry, as a drama practitioner, you know that.
What's your name? Sorry.
Yeah. My name's Catherine.
Catherine, can you pull over a chair here and I'll pull you in on this live stream as well?
Yeah, because
so as we're going through this, we're pulling in Catherine. What department are you from?
Catherine Morris. I'm in drama, the new O'Donoghue Centre that's just opened.
So I'm going to pull Catherine into this as well. These have been two of the most engaged people. Sorry, my hair is a disaster. So I told you I'm sick. Leave me alone. I'm delicate now. I'm only joking. Right. I'm going to pull Catherine in here. They've been really engaged throughout this. So I'm curious, you've been listening in on this. What are your thoughts? Do you believe social media is helping people, or is causing people to become more detached between feelings and between what they're thinking about?
No, I suppose in a way, obviously, I hear what you're saying because you're a specialist, and it was amazing to hear that conversation that you both just had. But I suppose as well, I think that it's a very positive thing that people are engaging, that they're communicating, which I think is a fantastic thing. But I suppose also, I think there's a lot of things that happen in drama that relates to depression as well. You know, so that the drama is a space in which people, you know, are playwriting, but also with the students they're performing. And there's a kind of a new kind of writing that's happening, which is bringing social media right into the sets, but also with the audiences as well. So, you know, performing something that is online only, but that has a live audience, like this live streaming. So that, you know, I think it's opening up all new kind of means.
You're dead right, exactly.
You
it's
know,
great.
Of self-performance.
And without social media, we wouldn't have access to other people. So,
but it isn't it, like at the end of the day, there's an intrinsic misunderstanding of the complexities of social media, and this is causing people to detach. I would agree. Now it does, don't get me wrong, I'm a social media practitioner, I'm a huge advocate for social, but I'm also an advocate that people don't understand it at all. They don't understand the true communication, and they don't understand the physical or mental disabilities or issues that can derive from using it so consistently, like you're talking about.
But actually though, for you then, if you're thinking about using this kind of live streaming to kind of have conversations and to communicate your knowledge, then that is only going to be incredibly beneficial for people who don't know about psychotherapy or how it can help.
That's what I was saying. I would like to talk about that actually. I didn't think of that, and I don't know how to use it, but I'll learn.
But we'll all know after Shane's session.
But just to demystify what psychotherapy is, you know, and all. Yeah, exactly what it is, you know, and. I mean, it's really complex, but it's also very simple. And but that whole thing about, like even the word mental illness, I don't like that. I don't like I hate that term, mental illness. Nobody is ill. You're going through something. You're going through a process where you're feeling a certain way. And if you move through it, it's gone. If you don't move through it and you get stuck in it, it'll remain with you. And keep coming back until you pay attention to, why am I depressed? Why am I depressed? It's not even why, it's how am I depressed? And in drama you can work through it. Because you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing, that there's your subconscious and all the other big part of you is saying wrong choice, you know.
But also I suppose that this takes people out of that sense of isolation or loneliness, is that if you can connect, or, you know, if I can see this video on YouTube where you've talked about a part of your you know, practice, then that will be helpful.
Definitely. Now we're going to have to wrap this up because other people are going to come back in. Now what I need from you, my wonderful audience, is I want to know what way we should be, or you should be, communicating your message moving forward. So would you like to see Joan, it is Joan, Joan, doing a weekly live stream on anything from psychology to coping with depression to any of the other things that we've touched on today? Would you like to see videos coming out weekly or monthly? What way would you like the content coming out to see, or to help you digest it in a better way? Let me know. I'm going to let Joan know, and we're going to come up with a plan for her to be able to communicate our message effectively and to help as many people as possible.
Great.
Would you like to say goodbye?
Yeah, goodbye.
You know, the other thing is,
do you want to say bye-bye?
Goodbye. The other thing that would be
no, we're going to have to go, and we have to get kicked off here. I'm going to do another one in a while. I'm going to bring Catherine in, and we're going to do one when all the group come back in, so no pressure, Catherine. Right, this has been Shane from Blue Chief. As per usual, I will catch you next week or next time. Bye-bye.